Yo, what up? It's your man Cross, aka Mr. Dean, and you're listening to the Man Up Club presents on Holy Culture Radio.
And I'm here. It's your boy Jamario.
Hey,
listen. What it do?
We got a good show for you guys today, man. We finna go in. We're gonna talk about some serious stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna debate a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna just kind of play a little tennis back and forth. You know, with a topic that a lot of people don't like to discuss, but we need to discuss it because it's a topic that is very relevant in the urban community, man. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But today, you know, man, we want to talk about death.
Yeah.
We want to talk about dying and talk about kind of, you know, what that means. You know, that can be a very, very, very scary thing.
That's what I was gonna say. That it's scary to even think because, hey, I didn't been in situations where I didn't seen people fade away. I didn't seen people at their lowest, and you've probably even can testify yourself. Looking death in the face ain't nothing to joke with.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah, that's something you can't play with at all.
And I can actually, unfortunately, say that, you know, I faced that. Now that I think about it, man, that's kind of surreal to some degree.
Like, I think the biggest scare is that you feel like your job here on this side ain't done yet, so you afraid that you leaving unfinished work.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, you know, you don't know. Like, that's the thing about death, man. It's interesting because I'm fresh off the plane, you know, from, you know, seeing my uncle off, you know, and he was a pastor for like 50 years.
Yeah.
You know, the rock of the family, the oldest of the family, and the oldest of 16 children.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, my grandmother had 16.
My grandma had 11.
Actually, my grandmother has 17, man. One passed away. But my family, my family blessed beyond measure, like for real, because we had, you know, she had 17 kids, and, you know, it's just like the majority of my family, the generation before me, man, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, my mom's brothers and sisters, man, a lot of them are over 80 years old.
Oh my gosh!
Like for real, like
them stonewalkers, them trailblazers for real.
Hey man, my hat goes off to them, man.
Trendsetters for real. Them the true trendsetters. So y'all out there that think y'all setting trends, the Dean jeans got it.
I'm telling you, them Dean jeans is serious too, and that's exactly what it is, man. You know, they had their own farmland. They worked that. You know, my granddaddy was a sharecropper, man, and, you know, he, you know, put his kids to work. You know, he owned his own house. He owned his own land, and they would work the fields and what have you, man. But I had an uncle. His name was Ivory, Reverend Ivory Dean. And, you know, he was a great baseball player to my understanding. Like, I was told that he was good enough to actually go pro. And and my grandmother would never let him go pro because, you know, he was the oldest of all those kids, and he had to, and he couldn't go to high school, and he had to work the field.
Yeah. That's how my grandma is.
For real.
Yeah, my great granddad, me and my grandma and my dad in the process of going down there. We go back down there at the end of May, something like that.
Yeah.
And they gonna see about purchasing the actual land that he lived on and he cropped on and stuff like that.
Oh, that's dope.
But yeah, man, them trailblazers something different. Definitely coming from down south too. So I know they say up north is a little harder, but down south when you couldn't go to high school, you had to work.
Yep.
All 4 years, and then you feel me, like
walk to school.
And then it's not even just walking to school. You know, nowadays kids can walk 2 blocks to school.
Right.
No, they used to walk miles on top of miles.
Right.
And then you had to be back home right after and go to work.
Yeah.
So
it was a lot, man.
I tip my hat off to him. It ain't nothing like a Southern old school grandmother, great grandparents. If you grew up down south, you know how it is.
Yeah, it's like unsaid code. you know the struggle is basically
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
You know the struggle, man. And like I said, man, he preached all his life. He was like a father figure to me,
Mm-hmm.
more than an uncle. I grew up down there with him. And then I just had to fly to Louisville, Kentucky, man, to lay him to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Still got to go back.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, still got to go back for the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
But just to sit there and watch him, like I was by his bedside, and prayed over him, talk with him, and a lot of times, we'd be sad and all of that, and I get it. There's a lot of people out there who, have people who are transitioning into that next life, man, and struggling and grieving and what have you. But there was a couple of things that crossed my mind. If you blessed to be able to lay there and say goodbye, or have people say goodbye to you, while you transition on, like, that's the best transition ever, man, because there's a lot of people out here, like, as a matter of fact, you go back 2 or 3 months ago, my little cousin got killed
Yeah.
by, a driver who just ran her over, man.
Wasn't paying attention.
She was 18 years old.
Crazy.
Hit her, knocked her up in the air, man, and, all sorts of injuries, brain damage, and,
Yeah.
just real gruesome,
Yeah.
and without warning, here today, gone tomorrow type deal.
Mm-hmm.
So you have those deaths that are here today and gone tomorrow, but then you also have those kinds of deaths where, you get time to say your goodbyes, pray your prayers, you feel me? And so for me, man, I'm kind of processing through all of that. It's really a tough time for me in that regard, but I'm just processing through it. Cause I recognize the blessing, to be able to watch my uncle lay there, man, and, take those last breaths. Family come in, we pray, sing songs over him, believe that God will restore, but ultimately it's up to God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think I can't say I can relate to laying, like, being there by their bedside, but far as, like, the unexpected, like you were saying, like my uncle, I can attest to that. Like, just here one day, going the next.
Yep.
So I feel like for me is one of those things, is like, it's a different process versus somebody suddenly leaving
Absolutely.
versus somebody processing a time on transition. So I feel like it's hard either way, but processing it, I think it make it a tad bit easier that you can actually get those goodbyes in,
Mm-hmm.
and know that, okay, it's time for them to go to the other side, versus being 18, being 24, being 15, 16, being even a baby. Like, those is things you don't expect. So yeah, I feel like during it's 2024, people just dying day by day, hour by hour. So I feel like we just got to keep praying, because at the end of the day, prayer keep you strong.
Yeah, I mean, we got to pray, and then, but even beyond that, we gotta communicate.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
First of all, a lot of people don't even say "I love you" enough
Man,
to the people who really matter.
yeah.
They don't say that enough. And I think that's where the pain really comes from, for the most part, is not having the time to say goodbye, or knowing that you should have done something that you didn't do, or knowing that you should have said something that you didn't say. All of that. Like, I think that just compiles and adds to the pain and, to the grief.
Yeah.
You feel me? That whole communication piece.
Yeah.
Last year I went to my mom and my uncles and aunts who are above 80, and I just said, hey, what do you guys want in your last days?
Yeah.
Like, well, I recognize that there's getting ready to be a transition that's happening.
Yeah.
Y'all been the rock of the family for years. You know what I'm saying? Decades.
Yeah.
It's about to be a a shift.
Yeah.
You know, what do you guys want? And they asked me they said they wanted a reunion. They wanted to see everybody. So what I did, man, was I just went in my bag like, yo, I got to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I just started calling, you know, family and cousins and whatever, like, yo, we need to put this family reunion together and we need to do it big.
Yeah.
And we did it big. Like it was dope, man. We we rolled out the red carpet for the family. You know, and I did that for my uncle, the one who just expired, and you know, and my mom and a couple of others, man, just so that, because obviously my family's huge, but so they could all come in and see them, see him, and for him to see the family, and then to give those monumental paramount speeches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's good to get those words of wisdom and guidance and words for the future from your elders.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So, you know, we did that. And so for me, it's a little bit, that helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I guess the point I'm trying to say is like scripture says, give people their flowers while they live.
Yeah.
You know, so it won't hurt so bad when they are gone and you know you did everything that you could do.
Yeah, that's definitely something that you can't wait. You feel me? I can't leave my mom, my dad, my grandma, my sister, my brother without saying I love you. And I be looking at people too, like they'll be talking to their mom or they'll be on the phone with their mom and they won't say I love you at the end, like before they hang up. You don't say you love your mom? And then they'll be like, nah, she know. Nah, I don't care if she know. Of course she know you her baby, but or they dad or whoever, right? So at the end of the day, I can't risk having that. I can't get my last chance, my last words in. If it is our last phone call, I want you to hear that I love you. And then even then, like my mom's sick right now, so I had to take her to the hospital or whatever. But she kept telling me to go home because it was probably like 10, 11 o'clock. She kept telling me to go home. Like, no, I'm not finna go home because I'm not finna play with this sickness because we don't get sick. That's the thing. But when we do get sick, we sick.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I'm not finna play with this. On top of her having a hole in her heart.
Ooh.
Yeah. So she was born with a hole in her heart.
Ooh.
So I was like, no, we not playing that. Then she kept saying how she was hurting and stuff. But it's the same with my dad. I had to see my dad on a ventilator, so I can't take that chance of not having them last words in. So
that's real. And make sure y'all share y'all last words with the ones y'all love. This your man, Mr. Dean, and my man Jamario. You're listening to the Man Up Club Presents, and we're gonna come back to you in a minute, man, and go a little bit deeper, just dealing with, you know, life and death. Coming back to you live from the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. It's your man, Mr. Dean, with the Man Up Club Presents on Holy Culture Radio. Hey, listen, if you want to be a part of what we're doing, I need you to take down this information. You can go to our website at themanupclub.org. Read all about what we're doing in the Man Up Club and how we're mentoring these young men between the ages of 13 and 24, mentoring them in 4 different areas, which is life skills, social skills, academic discipline, and civic responsibility. The Man Up Club is a nonprofit mentor leadership organization and also a 501c3. And if you want to partner with us, please do so. We would love to partner with you. And you can also reach out to us on our Instagram. That's themanupclub.mn. Once again, themanupclub.mn. And if you want to be a partner and make a contribution to the Man Up Club, go to our website and do that and just hit the donation page, become a monthly partner. Everything we do for these young men, we do it for free, but we cannot do it without your contribution and without your support. So we thank you for listening to our show. Getting back into it with my man Jamario, man, we're having a interesting conversation, you know, the kind of conversation a lot of people don't like to have. But in the Man Up Club, we do what's necessary. And the reason why we talk about this, which is our subject today, is kind of like death and dying, although it may seem kind of dark, is because in the urban community, especially with our young black males, we face that a lot, you know, around the country. And it's something that needs to be dealt with, something that needs to be talked about, something that needs to be analyzed and broken down. But we're just kind of scratching the surface right now, and talking about those things. And you know, what they mean and the trials and tribulations that you go through, the mindset. As a matter of fact, Jamario, we was talking the other day with the Man Up Club boys.
Yeah.
About that.
Literally talk. Well, I mean, y'all will probably think it's crazy, but we was talking how ways we'd accept death and ways we will not accept death. And it's
as if we really got a choice.
Yeah, as if we got a choice. But in reality, you can avoid something.
Yes, you can.
You can avoid dying from drowning.
I don't know if you can avoid it.
I mean,
I'm still afraid of it.
Yeah, I can't swim, so you ain't gonna see me in no water.
Well, see, that's the thing.
I can't
swim like that either, but my wife is forcing me to go on this cruise in June. And I ain't trying to be like the Titanic.
I'm not trying to be like the ship that just crashed the bridge.
Oh, wow. Yeah, let's bring it to 2024.
Yeah, look.
Did you see that bridge, how it just fell?
It just crumbled.
Dude. Oh, I saw that last truck get across there. God,
I could not, in a million years, I could not be like, you know what? I'm going across this bridge. I done been over it 1,000 times. This not going to be my last time. But that truck, oh, man.
But you know when the I-35 bridge fell here in the Twin Cities, man, I was supposed to be on that bridge.
Oh, yeah.
And I be getting phobias about that now when I cross bridges. I be like, Lord, is this bridge going to fall?
Hey, you want to know what's crazy, though? So my grandma.
Seriously.
My grandma, she live over north. And to get from my house, from my mother-in-law house to my grandma house, you got to go over the Laurie Bridge.
Yeah.
I avoid that bridge every time.
Really?
I can't. I can't even do that.
Wow, you got a phobia too.
Even though it's over the Mississippi. It ain't too many boats that go on the Mississippi, but I'm not the type of person to mess around and find out. I'm gonna be honest. I can't, because at the end of the day, if I see that that can happen, at that point you lost me.
Faith is everything, man. Because when I was younger, man, I used to love to fly.
Man,
everywhere. But man, the older I get now, I just be, man, so reluctant. Like last night, I flew late last night. And it's crazy. I'm going to let y'all know a little secret in a minute. Y'all going to think I'm crazy. But yeah, man, I flew last night, man. And I'm just like, dude, if anything go wrong with this plane, I didn't see lately, I've been seeing wheels fall off of planes.
Wheels falling off.
Doors popping off. I'm just like, man, what's the chances? And then when I was leaving Louisville, man, they was having tornadoes.
Yeah.
And we left like right in the midst of a tornado. We just happened to fly over it. I was nervous and scared, boy.
I'm gonna be honest, man. To this day, I boo-boo on myself.
Oh my God.
Oh man. You can't convince me after seeing this on social media.
Yeah.
You cannot convince me. Okay, because now the question is, what's next?
Yeah.
The wheels fell off, the doors fell off. What's next? A wing?
I know.
An engine fell?
Ooh.
Like I can't. I'm telling you, that's why y'all think I'm crazy. I drive everywhere. I'm everywhere.
Yeah, who was
Mississippi?
Madden.
Yeah.
He never flew.
Yeah.
John Madden.
Never.
Yeah, he wouldn't fly nowhere.
But 24 hours to Mississippi, I take that 24 hours.
Really?
I take that most definitely.
Oh man, I gotta hop on that bird.
I can't. But I think for me, we was talking about it the other day too with the guys. I can't put my life into two people's hands.
What do you mean?
If the pilot's sleepy, I look. Man, he started dozing. They talking about his turbulence. Really, it ain't turbulence. He just dozed off.
You tripping.
Now he's shaking the bird. No, that bird's something different.
So my little secret, man, is like sometimes, like when I'm traveling and I'm afraid, I'll be like, let me take somebody with me just in case I die, so they can die with me.
Yeah, I can't
be like,
die alone.
I'll be like, okay, God, they been good, so you ain't gonna take them, so they good. Look like if they insurance.
I know for a fact that if they come with me, I know I ain't dying.
Right, exactly.
That's
like,
God
let me take my mama with me.
This guy, best soldier right here.
I'm
He
trying
can
to
die.
tell you. Like, I don't know, Lord. I ain't been so good, but
hey, but this one right here,
it's
I
real.
know you can't take this
it's real.
one.
Hey, man, I'll be doing that straight up. Like, hey, you want to go X, Y, and Z? They be like, yeah. I'll be like, cool.
Because I'm gonna be honest, dying alone, I can't. Man, that's pain.
Man, I feel for those construction workers that was on that bridge, man,
Man,
working and just trapped in the car. Like two of them was sitting in the car, man, when that
one of the shit.
bridge went down. And it's hard to get, you can't even open those doors underwater. It's just, I don't know, when you think about that, man, that stuff is like, it's crazy, man.
And it's scary because I used to do demolition and I used to do general construction. And the biggest fear is actually dying on the job site.
Mm.
And I mean, of course, that's why they got OSHA and stuff in
Yeah.
place. But your biggest fear is dying on the job site at work. And that right there brung reality. You feel me?
Yeah.
And of course, there's been deaths on sites, different situations, but that ain't no circumstance that you can accept. You feel me? The family can accept.
Man, all of this is the main reason why we need a savior, boy.
Man.
And Easter just passed. And when you really think about the significance of Easter, the death, the burial, and then the resurrection of Jesus, like that gives me some hope. Like that's what faith is all about, man. Because I watched T.D. Jakes this past week. He preached this sermon. Actually, it was his daughter Sarah Jakes and her husband, and then Jakes. They all three of them preached it together. This sermon, and they talked about Jesus, and how he went to the cross, man, and how he faced death, and how death was just like the enemy. Man. Like it was just like the end all be all, like nothing after that
at all.
And people was like, okay, well, Jesus went to the cross, and he got beat and he hung and he died. And a lot of people thought, okay, well, now he hung and died, and when it said it's finished, okay, that's it. But it's like, no, it wasn't just about his work that he did on the cross. A lot of people say the work on the cross, the work that Jesus did on the cross. The finished work of the cross is how they say it, and that like that's what's to be celebrated. But no, it's really not, because he had more work to do after the cross.
Man. Because
after he died, that's when he went to the next level, to Hades, which is hell.
Yeah.
You feel me? They call it the Sheol, and done battle with death. You feel me? Conquered death, though. Got the keys to death, and was just like, okay, now I'm finna resurrect. But here's what's cool. Here was what was so cool about that. Realize that people, and I want to see what you think about this, but realize that a lot of people act like that the death of Jesus on the cross was really the first crucifixion, but people were being crucified all the time.
Yeah.
The only difference was they wasn't resurrecting themselves.
Exactly.
But peep this, though. There were people who had already died, who had been resurrected before Jesus. Now think about that for a minute, because when Jesus died, people were sad and upset because they didn't know he was going to be resurrected. Yeah. Think about that now. But the fact is, he was resurrecting people before he left.
Yeah.
It's almost as if people got amnesia. Think about Lazarus.
Oh man,
Jesus resurrected Lazarus before
he left.
Yeah, come on now.
And the reason
and
I
several
say
other
left
people
is because he came back.
But you get my point. Like, people don't really think about that.
That's crazy.
So
that's
if he
deep,
can,
though,
so if he can resurrect others, then why was we so sad when he died, as if he was not going to return?
Yeah, I mean, because I guess people, that's one of them things people, they don't want their treasure to die, because they see that he's saving people before he leave.
Yeah.
So when he do give up, you feel me? They're like, okay, it's my time to go. And they didn't want to accept that. But I feel like now they're like, all right, you came back. We good.
and a lot of people struggle with this, and even me as a man of faith, I struggle with this. Just even my Christian walk, and people don't like to discuss it, especially when you're a Christian man. But I even struggle with faith sometimes. My faith walk in regards to, I understand what Scripture says as far as us. If we give our life to Christ and accept Him as our Lord and personal Savior, then we're saved, and then we live life eternal, and that we never die. Mm-hmm. But even knowing that, you still got this unknown, the doubt.
Is the voice.
Huh?
Is the voice.
What you mean?
The voice will get to you.
Oh, yeah, that voice.
When you start, I'm telling you, I tell people all the time, the best time to listen to your thoughts is between 11 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Because it ain't nothing going on.
True.
The moon is at its finest, at its peak, and it's just you and your thoughts.
That's true.
And that's why some artists, they only have sessions at 11 o'clock.
That's real.
That's just how it be, though.
Man, I'm just telling you, I don't know, man. I'm just glad he rose, and I'm just glad I got faith, and I'm glad that, that if we believe in him, that we do have eternal life, because there's got to be more to it than what we're seeing and what's happening right now. It's got to be more.
Definitely. Hey, y'all stay tuned. It's your boy, Jamario. I'm here with the one and only Cross, Mr. Dean, and we're going to get back into it. Stay tuned.
Yo, I got life, and I got life more abundantly. I got life through Christ, man. And just to be able to wake up every day, open my eyes, stretch, breathe, be like, Lord, thank you for another day. And y'all just take some time and do that right now, man. Just, I don't know, Carol, where you at, what you doing right now. Just like take a moment, like right this second, and just be like, Lord, thank you for another day. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you a couple seconds. That's real. You got to be able to do that, man, because you got to take this thing in. This thing called life, you cannot take it for granted, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. Life happens. Tragedies happens. Situations and circumstances happen. Death happens. But there is life eternal and resurrection through Christ. And that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about that good news. A lot of people, been losing people. I've been losing a lot of people lately. I was telling Jamario earlier that my grandmother, had 17 kids. And the beauty of having a big family is that it's a lot of us. And so, we can have a good time, and, we can have socialization and community and family, but then there's a downside to that, because, when you get older, when you have a big family, death comes. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like a domino effect. God has been good to my family, man. I was saying that all of my elders, man, that Dean gene lives to be a long time, boy.
Man.
God
bless.
And, I'm thankful for it. But I know that there's a time coming, man, where we're going to have to, as Denzel say in the movie Glory, ante up and kick in.
Man.
Yeah, man, I mean, we got to celebrate life. We got to live it. Like, we got to live it as if it was our last. Mm-hmm. I can't even imagine what it's like. And I got people who I know who have been told that they only have a certain amount of time left to live. And imagine that. Imagine if somebody told you,
you got 4 months to live.
Yep.
You got 6 months to a year to live. I couldn't. That weight, that's too much. That's weight on top of weight. Because, like, you telling me I got 6 months to finish my job on this side, and then on top of that, you telling me that I really ain't got no other choice out. Like, you can't cure me or fix me to the point where I just got a time. You giving me my expiration date.
Right.
And I didn't see people pass their expiration date.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, that goes to show doctors could only tell me so much.
Well, that's why they're practicing.
Exactly.
Medicine.
Practicing medicine.
Right.
I've never heard of a doctor playing or working in medicine. They always practicing medicine.
Yeah.
Them clinical trials, that's them trying to figure out who can survive this and who can't.
Exactly.
If this really gonna work or not.
Right.
That's all they, and in reality, bro, you can't leave your life. Once again, you can't leave your life in one person's hands or one person's mouth. Because at the end of the day, is one man that can tell me when it's time to go.
I can't imagine it, man. I had an episode where I had a blood clot that lodged between my heart valve and my lungs, and went into the doctor for shortness of breath, and then got in there, man, and then they rushing the brother to the OR for me to get a surgery, life or death situation, man. And I can tell you firsthand, when you facing that, man, that ain't no joke. Like, you start to process everything. You start to think about everything. You start to think about you, your value, your influence, what you've done on earth, who you've impacted, who you've hurt, who you've harmed, who you blessed, just all sorts of things, what you leaving behind, how you're going to be perceived, how you're going to be remembered. All of those things just start running through your mind like lightning fast, and it's mind blowing, man. Like, for me, I'm like, okay, God, you got your boy's attention. I hear you.
What you want me to do?
Exactly. I need to go ahead and get busy doing what it's not. Well, it's not even to get busy doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because I'm doing that. But for me, it was like, okay, I need to take your business just a little bit more serious.
All right, because you not playing.
Yeah, I need to get serious about what you got me on.
But yeah, I just told, it's crazy you say that, because the trip that I'm taking in down to Florida for our family trip, they talking about going alligator feeding. I'm like, oh yeah, we could do that. I like that. I brung it up. I was like, I want to go alligator feeding and alligator wrestling. And everybody in the group chat is like 2-3 people that's like, nah, we're not doing that. I'm like, so then I'm like, okay, let's go ziplining over alligators.
Boy, you tripping.
So they like, nah, I ain't trying to be alligator food. Y'all scared of being dinner? And so then they went to the, okay, we can go alligator touring. Okay, we could do that. All right, so now we can go alligator feed. Now they warming up to being at, like, we gonna be in Orlando, Florida. What you expect?
I couldn't do that.
And so I brung up, I'm like, okay, let's go alligator feeding. Okay, we can feed the alligators. So they like, hey, I'm not doing it because if the alligator decide that he hungry for something else, you feel me? And I was like, okay, in reality. So my auntie was like, so one of the people in our group chat was like, okay, I can outrun the alligator.
Yeah, right.
So stats do say alligators run up to 35 miles per hour. You can outrun the alligator. But the question is, who finna do that? I'm not finna, look.
Meet.
Exactly.
If you running like the road runner.
Man, I look like dinner already.
Alligator catching you.
I look like dinner already. And I told him in the group chat, I look like dinner to him already. I'm not running nowhere. My best bet is to make him bite his tail. I'm going to keep making him run in circles. He's going to be irritated.
I don't mess with wild animals, man. I had the opportunity to go to Africa.
Oh, man.
And went to Kenya.
That's different.
And I went on a safari.
That's different.
I went out there, boy. That was a trip of a lifetime. Oh, I'm telling you, it's a trip of a lifetime, man. Just the sun and staying in the huts, boy, and getting out into the wilderness, and driving down the dirt road with land on each side, and then you just looking across the field. We in these big Jeeps or whatever, and then we got the guy in there with the shotgun just in case things go wrong.
Hey, man, because I don't know why, and y'all might think I'm crazy. I want to get chased by a rhino for some reason. I really want, but it's the simple. Wrong with you? It's the simple fact that we can get away.
No, you don't know that you can.
But that's the fear. That's what, I'm an adrenaline junkie. That's why I like alligators. Like, I could go fight alligators for a living.
Boy, when I went in that field and saw that gold wheat, and you looking at the gold wheat with the blazing sun, and then all of a sudden you see a patch of gold. It's a lion.
We gone.
I'm the king of the jungle. He right there.
I'm gone.
I was like, that's crazy.
I ain't gonna lie.
I saw.
Look, we was just talking about it. It's certain ways that you can leave this earth.
I can't imagine it, man. Like them lions,
God.
boy. Them lions ain't no joke when you see them in real life, boy. They run that.
Huge.
They run that jungle. I saw everything, man. Oh my goodness! And then to see, like, just the monkeys and like there was probably about 60 of them all together, and that's what. So though, here's what I picked up on. I saw all of these animals. I saw the elephants, the lions, the baboons, the alligators. Oh my God, I can't even think of all these animals I saw. Obviously, the giraffes and
parrots,
just all sorts of wildlife. But what was crazy, man, is that each one of them, they were all together to their own.
Yeah,
and that made me think. I don't know. I think crazy stuff sometimes, and y'all gonna try to crucify me for this, but I'm gonna just say it because I'm on the air. And I want my show to be provoking, and it is provoking, and I want you to think. But, is racism really that bad? It depends on how you look at it. And I'm not a racist by any stretch of the imagination. But can you get mad at groups, for wanting to be with their own?
No.
Oh, that's another subject for another day. The reason I bring it up and say it, and not to get off subject, but the reason I bring it up and say it is because that was one of the main things that I noticed about the wildlife, man. Every animal and species was together with their own, and we had to go like a certain distance before we saw the next group.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't mix. You didn't see them. When them lions came through. Boy, them baboons moved out the way.
I'm not. Look, I'm telling you, because
it's crazy. Hippopotamus, all of them. We saw all of it.
See, that's snakes. I can't do a hip.
I'm just simply saying, bro, that I don't know. Life makes you think, and people, we need to get out of that. We need to stop living in just the black and white areas, man, and start living in some of the gray areas, because some of the greatest things about life is in the gray areas.
And it show you,
but. People don't want you to be a free thinker.
Yeah.
Ask the question why we think that way. Why do we respond that way? As opposed to just getting mad at people, for their views and this, that, and the other. Try to understand why you think the way you think.
And I think the biggest thing is because, you can't be mad at them because they want to be with their race, because that's probably where their comfort zone is. That's probably where they understand the most.
And that's cool. I think the problem, bro, comes in when people try to just hate on somebody else because of their race.
Yeah.
That's the difference, I think.
And to one of my Man Up members out there, yes, you can be racist if you are any color.
Yeah. You had a young man that challenged you with that the other day.
So, but is the simple fact is, you ain't got to be racist because you want to be with your crew, or you want to be with your ethnicity.
Yeah. Sense of belonging.
Yeah, just don't hate on somebody else's culture.
Exactly.
Because the exact same way that you hating on their culture, they probably hating on yours.
Yeah, that's real.
But then at the same time, hey, y'all need to pray.
Yeah, I want to talk about that, man, on this last segment we got coming up, man. I heard you and DJ talking last week on our show and was talking about how this generation, man, especially in the urban culture, the young men, they don't even think they're going to live to see 25.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about that a little bit and just kind of dig into that and kind of see what that mindset is and that thought process and why do we perceive, life that way. I think it's such a tragedy for us as young black males in America. But we're going to talk about it. This is your man, Mr. Dean, and you're listening to the Man Up Club presents on Holy Culture Radio. Check us out on IG at themanupclub.mn, and also tap into our podcast. Go to our YouTube page, themanupclub.mn.
Hey, y'all already know what's going on. It's your boy Jamario, and I'm here with the one and only Mr. Dean, a.k.a. Cross, and we finna get back into this. And we're going to continue talking about dying at earlier than 25, or trying to make it to 25.
Yeah, because that's a struggle right now, and I hated it when I heard it.
Man.
You know, and I've heard this on several different occasions when I'm talking. But here's the thing: I only hear it when I'm talking to young black males.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't hear it from white people. I don't hear it from any other ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear it from any other gender other than males. And I'm just like, I mean, I understand the struggles in the hood firsthand. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the hood. I work in the hood. You know, and I know that there's a lot of death and dying in the hood. I know there's a lot of killing. I know there's a lot of crime and violence, a lot of gangs and things like that. And it is real, you know, that, you know, our black boys in America are dying at a young age. But this idea that they don't believe that they'll live to see 25, that blows me. 25. Man, life ain't even started. You know, it's like, okay, well, you don't think you're going to live life before your life even gets started?
And that's scary, because if you think about it, every time, like, my mom's biggest fear, or I shouldn't say her biggest fear, but one of her fears is me not coming back home.
Absolutely. I got the same fear for my kids.
And I shouldn't say my mom, every parent in America.
It's not every parent, though. Let me clean that up, bro.
That's true.
Hold on. Time out. We all don't share that burden. We don't.
Yeah.
There's some parents out there who don't think twice about their kids coming home in the evening. They have an expectation, like, oh yeah, Michelle will be home in 10 minutes.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
You know, Jason will be home tonight.
Yeah, no. Jason and Michelle, y'all better go home.
I'm just saying, man. No.
Yeah.
But I feel what you're saying in regards to your mom, because I share that same fear.
Oh yeah. Even my mom, if I make it home before my mom, I have to call her, because I don't get off work till 8. I call her. Oh, you not home? Okay.
I don't think people understand that level of anxiety, man, that brings.
Man.
It's like living on pins and needles, man.
Literally. It's like walking on nails, man. It's scary, because it's not one of those things that you can run from. It's reality. You feel me? And then on top of my mom knowing that, like, we grew up in the hood, and I've been in certain situations, and so at the end of the day, I've became better.
Mm-hmm.
But she know I still got to go to that side of town sometimes.
Yeah.
To do certain stuff and to, you know, get certain stuff. And so at the end of the day, her fear and y'all fear as black parents is that your kid does not make it out that one time that they don't go over there.
And another thing that blows me is that I recognize that a lot of young black boys are not afraid to die.
Oh yeah.
That is fascinating to me. I
I'm
don't want to die.
Oh no.
I'm afraid of dying. I'm like, God, I want all my time.
Yeah.
But I done talked to a lot of young men being in the Man Up Club. And when I tell you I done talked to a lot of young men, I done talked to a lot of them, and they have no fear of death.
I wouldn't say I ain't got no fear of death, but I know it's a clock out sometime.
Ooh, but dude.
Yeah. It's when I'm not gonna say it like that. I'm gonna say I pray God give me my time, my whole time, but I'm also a child of God, so I know we gotta clock out one day.
I get that, and that's cool.
Clocking out early, I can't accept that.
Right.
I can never. I be telling kids, bro, if you accept death like that, we gotta talk, cause that's.
But they do though, bro.
And that's a scary. And I'm 21. I pray to God I make it to 22. I pray to God I make it to 23, 24, 25.
Can you even see yourself at 30?
I'm gonna be honest. No,
Oh man, that's so heartbreaking. Why?
I just because this world's so corrupt. You don't know what'll happen.
What's that got to do with you?
It's I don't know. I got a plan for when I make it to 30,
Okay.
but do I feel like I'm gonna get there? By the grace of God, yeah. But in the back of my head, I be thinking like, man, this could be my last day.
Mm.
Just going to the store or just going to see my grandma or something like that, you know. But I'm always in the head like, okay, I make it to 22. I did what I did when I was 21. If I make it to 30, we on go.
I mean, I feel you to a certain extent, man. Because if truth be told, I could never see myself being 50, and I just turned 50.
I'm gonna be honest. I almost forgot you was 50.
I know, right?
Hey, if y'all go watch the podcast. I promise y'all, this man does not look 50. Now, if
How old do I look?
If he let his beard grow out, he might maybe look 50. But the best I give him is about 45, 46.
Yeah, and that's interesting because a lot of people tell me I look a lot younger than that. I done had people tell me I look 38.
But The Rock don't
I be
look
like,
50
yo,
either.
that's dope. No, he don't. And that's the thing. I love to work out every day, man. I love to, go out, go places, do things, enjoy life, and that's what I want to do. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to really just enjoy life. When you grow up in poverty-stricken circumstances in inner city, man, sometimes it's hard for you to learn how to enjoy life because you got so much negativity around you, and you get so many bad breaks to the point where it just hurts your expectation for life and life being, a good time. It's almost like you feel guilty for having too much of a good time in life. Like, okay, well, you having too much fun. You wasting your time. No. Yeah, you wasting time because you enjoying life too much and you need to do something more serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You definitely gotta use your time wisely because your time is gonna be your money, and your money gonna be your time. And at the end of the day, if you are accepting death at a young age, stop. Don't do that.
Please.
Make it to where you ain't gotta worry about that no more. You feel me?
Make plans.
Make plans, cause I got a plan by the time I'm 30. You feel me?
Make plans to live.
And at the end of the day, you can't make a plan for inheritance. You got to make plans. You can't make plans for a legacy. You got to let your legacy live while you living.
Yeah, and I thought about that.
Yeah, when it's time for you to go, your legacy live on, even though it was living while you was living.
Well, that's the thing, man. Like for me, I just went through that process of creating a will and, all of those things that go with that. And I don't know. It's just a blessing to be able to leave here with more than what you came with.
Yeah.
And to have a legacy, to be remembered. Yeah, I want to say out to every young black male out there and every young black boy, man, I need y'all to dream. And I need y'all to dream big. Like, no matter what your situation is, no matter what your circumstance is, I need you to dream. I need you to shoot for the mountaintops.
Stop living in the midnights, in the nightmares.
Like go for yours. Do what you got to do. That's positive and inspirational, man. That's going to be a blessing and bring life to other people and bring life to yourself. Like, you smart enough to do it. Just do it. Like, believe in yourself. Believe that you can make it. Believe that you can go the extra mile. Believe, that you can survive the struggle. That all of that's important, man. Is to believe in yourself and to surround yourself with the right kind of friends, and don't be afraid to cut people off, man.
Man.
If it ain't, you already know. It don't matter how old you are. I mean, you even look kid, man. If you if you like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, you know what good friends are.
Exactly.
You know the ones that mean you well, and the ones that don't mean you no good, man. You can start now. Like, start cutting them off.
Yeah.
For those of you guys who are older, man, stop playing with your life.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? You got an opportunity to win. And you can win, but you got to believe in yourself. And also, if you're an older person out there, I need you to grab a young person and just start pouring into them. I need you to start pouring into them. I need you to grab a young man, grab him by the collar, pull him to you, and just be like, find out who he is, what he doing, where he going, what's his goals, or whatever. Because a lot of these young, especially these young black males that's out there, you know, they got to be so hard. You know, they got to be on point. You know, they got to always be defensive and defend themselves for people taking advantage of them, society taking advantage, people in the community taking advantage. But I'm just going to tell you as a mentor and a person who owns and runs an organization specifically for young black males, these boys are babies, man, and they're afraid. They may look like grown men, but they're little boys.
Man, we just had a group of kids come in.
Yeah.
All look over 18. They talking about 13 and 14.
Exactly.
Stop feeding y'all kids oversized pieces of chicken.
And not even oversized pieces of chicken. Don't stop there. Stop feeding your kids oversized information that you know that they don't need at that age.
Ooh.
Like, just because you know something or you've been exposed to things, you know things that you wasn't supposed to be exposed to. Like, don't expose your kids to those things. Like, give them parameters. Like, give them boundaries. Whether they buck up against them or rebel against them or not, still put them in place. Don't just give in to, because culture already is a big enough influence in their life. We need some godly men who know Jesus, who are successful and who are hard workers and who put forth effort and who are just men of goodwill and men of good character, who understand what's going on out here in these streets and understand the trials and tribulations and temptations that these young boys face, man. And you just need to go grab one of them little jokers and just mentor them, whether they want you to or not. And don't accept no for an answer, even if they reject you. You know what I'm saying? Get their number, call them, text them, keep checking on them, because they just checking to see if you honest and if you real. You know what I'm saying? So be real. This is your man, Mr. Dean. I got my man, Jamario. You listening to the Man Up Club Presents on Holy Culture Radio. Tap in with us. Go to our IG at the manupclub.mn. Be sure to tap into our YouTube page, man. Subscribe to that, to our podcast, and also check us out on our website at themanupclub.org. Come partner with us. We'd love to have you become a monthly partner. Give us a donation so we can continue this work.